Good evening and welcome to the Cardinals Scoreboard Show. This is Trey Graham with Cardinals head football coach Matt Nally joining you on the Melissa Cardinals Network. We're taking the show on the road every week, and we pick a new location so you can get a sense of where the Cardinals hang out. And we're on a familiar spot today, Coach, but not a lot of people get to sit in these seats.
Yeah, heck yeah.
This would be the home sideline. This is Coach Kenny Deal Stadium. There's the big scoreboard, and there's the championship center, and our press box is way up there, and there's the field.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this place in just a minute, but we do need to recognize big win over the rivals, the Purple People, 21-18.
Yes, sir.
Final score over the Anna Coyotes, and I've got a strategy question for you, which I'm sure everybody else has asked you the same kind of question about going for it on fourth down. But first of all, your thoughts on a big rivalry win?
First off, you have to give praise where praise is due. And once again, Coach Pennington and that defensive staff did an amazing job of coming together with a game plan and really formulating it throughout the week, and then the kids executing it on Friday night. I love this saying, a really good play or a really good concept is a bad play if it's not executed properly. And the athletes executed the game plan properly on Friday night. So kudos to them. And then on the offensive side of it, I really believe when we were down 14-18, Coach Hamilton did an unbelievable job of controlling the clock and putting a drive together and scoring and making it 21-18. And then when we got the ball back, once again controlling the clock. And that is something that in the past we might have not been as great as, is controlling it and understanding that at that point in time, the scoreboard, the clock, it's got to be our friend, not our enemy. So, and taking time off the clock, because as you noticed at the end of the game, it was whatever time was left. I can't remember what it was, 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. They drove down the field pretty quickly.
Yes.
So if there was any more time, it could have been a little bit different situation. But he did a great job, I believed, in that situation. And then special teams-wise, I thought we played really good besides the muff punt.
Right.
That was something that we really emphasized going into last week, was how are we going to take this offense, because they are an unbelievable offense. Every single one of those kids on that offensive side of the ball were just unbelievably talented. And then I really liked what they did defensively. And that's the thing, like, coming to Melissa was, every week you're going to get somebody's, obviously their best effort, but you're going to see something different. Like, you're not going to get what they get on film. So what I really enjoyed what they did, and I thought was a great job coaching, was they didn't change a lot of their schemes, but they changed their personnel. Like the kid that's going to Florida to play receiver, he was a corner, and then they took the other kid and he was a corner. And then they made, like, the kid that has all those offers to play offensive line, he played nose. They had a lot of kids going both ways. And I thought that was a really good idea in what they did in their plan coming into our game. But once again, it goes back to the kids executing the game plan. So defensively, they did a great job. Offensively, I think we left some points on the board that we should have got. Especially when we got in the red area and some other situations that happened during the game. But once again, once I got the job, everyone considers me as an offensive coach, and always going to be this, that, and another, and whatnot. And I've really tried to instill that you can go back 100 years. Defense is what's going to win games, and I think that was a testament to what happened on Friday night. Was defense won a game. So, once again, we're going to continue to try to get better and whatnot throughout the week, each week. And, I'll be honest with you, I was not really playing that game up too much as a rivalry game. But I've been Melissa for 10 years, and
it felt like it.
Yeah, I was on pins and needles all week. Yeah, I mean, it's Anna. And, so, and they once again, it's a good football team. It's a great football team.
Defending state champs, as we have to call them.
Yeah, great football team. And so it was an awesome opportunity to see where we were and our deficiencies and whatnot, because it's still so young. Like, people, I have a buddy that's just starting district this week, and we're going in our 4th district game. But once again, like I said, the district that we're in is only sharpening us for November and December football. So it was an exciting game against Anna. Once again, I think they did a great job over there at Anna, coming up with a great game plan and doing some things. But over here, I thought that our offense and defensive staff and our special team staff did a great job of getting us to a point for us to allow our kids to be successful and win the game.
And that did make the all-time series record 12-1 in the 13 matchups between Melissa and Anna. I mentioned the strategy question, but I'm sure you've pondered in your own mind. You had a 4th down late in the game. You could have kicked it to go up 6.
Yep.
You chose to go for it. What was the reasoning there?
It really was about field position. We were in that situation. I could have went up 6 points, but at the end of the day, with that offense, cool beans. They could have got the ball at the 30, the 35, and with that, you never know. So I wanted to pin them as deep as possible. So it was 4th down, and I was like, no, boys, we're going for it. They're going to have to drive 97. If they're going to win this game, this is something they're going to be talking about for the next 50 years, that they went 97 yards and beat us. But I'm not going to, go up 6. I'm going to make them drive the field.
If that had made it a 2-score game, you would have kicked, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But in that situation, it just being 6 points, I was like, I'm not going to do that. And our defense had been playing so lights out all night. So I was like, no, with our defense, the way they're playing right now, 97 is the choice. So, but yeah, that's why I made that decision, and had nothing to do with anything else. I think the easy decision would have been, hey, let's kick a field goal and make it 6. Make them score a touchdown. But with that offense, they could score a touchdown in one play. So I wanted to make sure that as much grass, was between them and winning the game. And that's just, and besides that, like, they had their strategy and if you'll notice, as the football game goes on, people's game plan comes out, and their game plan was out. So, and it was not the vertical ball or anything like that. It was more dinking and dunking and whatnot. And I was like, cool, you're going to have to dink and dunk.
They ran a 5-yard stop route to those split ends.
Correct.
30 times.
Correct.
And it worked most of the time.
Right. But I was like, you're going to have to do that all the way down the field. And I'm not going to allow you to, take the big shot and whatnot. And once again, that's on Coach Pennington and that defensive staff. But in that situation, I was like, you're going to have to go 97 yards. And I can't remember the time. I think it was like 2 or 3 minutes left in the game. And I think he might have had one timeout. Maybe. I can't remember the whole situation at hand. But I know he didn't have 2. He might have had 1 or none. And I was like, no, this is what we're going to do. And like I said, the defense was playing unbelievable at that time. So, at that point in time, too, if they would have gotten down in the kick, because that's where I thought the game was going, because their field goal kicker is a really good kicker. I thought the game was going to a situation where they're going to, they were in a field goal range.
They were in field goal range when they lost the ball.
And they were going to kick a field goal, and we were going to go into overtime. But once again, that's the reason why. It was 97 yards. I think he had one timeout. Once again, I can't remember. I got Lovejoy on the brain right now. I think he had one timeout, and I was like, no, we're going to make sure that because at some point in time he's going to have to call a timeout, and then the game is in our hands with the lead. Time running out, he's going to have to start making some rash decisions and whatnot. But I will say this. I thought he did an unbelievable job of calling that game. I thought their coaching staff did an unbelievable job of coaching throughout the week and coming up with a great game plan against us. But at the same point in time, I thought our coaching staff did a great job of adjusting throughout the game and making the right calls at the right times and giving our kids a chance to be successful and, at the end of the day, win the game.
You're joining us on the Melissa Cardinals Network. We're going to talk about Lovejoy in a few minutes, and we're going to talk about the game day atmosphere here on the sideline in our next segment. And before I introduce you to our players of the game, I need to tell you today's episode is brought to us by our good friends at the Dugout Sports Grill.
Oh, dang right. That's awesome.
Right over there.
Heck yeah.
Make sure you head over there for dinner. Go there on the weekends. Maybe go to church and go to lunch afterwards. Our friend Doug Zatto and all the great folks, Cindy Casson and everybody at the Dugout Sports Grill. Go there and watch some football and watch some sports and get some great food and hang out with some cool people.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So thanks to the Dugout Sports Grill. Now let me tell our audience, our players of the game, and get your comments. Our offensive player of the game, wide receiver Brett Poole, and our defensive player of the game, safety Rocky Dunn.
Yeah, heck yeah. First off, talking about Brett, Brett, which is so great, is, last year Brett was an Anna Coyote. And the great thing about the Poole boys, so Brett and his twin brother Jaden, is right when they came to Melissa, they were Melissa Cardinals. And it's really great to see, that character of a person, because sometimes it's really hard for people to go into a different situation and be the outsider or not really be bought into the culture. But immediately when they showed up, they were bought into the culture. They were bought into everything about being Melissa. And that's the one thing that we said in our last team meeting last week was, guys, Brett and Jaden are Melissa Cardinals. But
did you feel it needed to be said?
I did, yes, sir. Not just that, just because of the fact of, I can see, kids talking trash during the games and things like that. And I think Brett and Jaden in that situation, they needed to know that we had their back. But I think it was just, pure poetry that, Brett had the game that he had and whatnot. Not just because of it was Anna, but because of who he is. And he is a true teammate. He cares about every single teammate he has. He's a very much so an encourager, a leader. And just, I think they moved here last year. I can't remember, January or February or wherever it was. Just the short time that I've known him, just the great human being that he is. So, I just couldn't be more proud of that kid and just the whole situation that transpired on Friday night. And then Rocky, the crazy thing about Rocky is I remember the first time I saw Rocky, his family moved in, and I think Rocky was in junior high, and the dad was introducing me to the older brother named Lincoln, was a stud for us and whatnot. And I remember looking at Rocky going, oh, okay, this is the kid that he's kind of like me. When I was growing up, my older brother was the really good athlete. This is the kid that's kind of awkward and weird and whatnot. But because he had like he's got curly hair, but he's got like curly mullet thing going on, and he had glasses on. He just looked like a nerd.
We'll make sure he hears about that from you. Yes. Yeah.
So
you're on camera right now, right? Okay.
But the thing about Rocky is, and a lot of people don't know this, but we played Lovejoy and we won the district championship. Rocky's on the field. Rocky played that game, and Rocky played a lot for us as a freshman. 2 years ago, yeah, for us as a freshman, and then he started every game last year as a sophomore. And when you come to it, and you kind of, this is what I love about Rocky the most is you kind of live in your brother's shadow a little bit, and he kind of embraced that last year, but he was kind of his own person too, and now he's broke through that. And Lincoln, well, he's just a straight running stud. Athlete, stud, person. Just, I wish Lincoln Dunn was one of my kids, but Rocky has made himself his own, and I think that's truly awesome for Rock. But also the thing about Rocky is the one thing that I can say about Melissa kids is Melissa kids are selfless. And he's a selfless kid, somebody that he's getting a lot of attention right now, and he rightfully so. He's a really, really good player, and he's going to get more and more attention as the years go on. But for somebody that's getting that much attention, but being an unbelievable teammate and being where his feet are, and that's in Melissa, Texas, I think is really, really a cool thing. Just in the climate that we lived in nowadays, where it's it's all about me, and things like that, and social media and whatnot, and that's not who he is. So that's a testament to how he's raised, but also just the person he is and the character that he has.
We're going to let you meet our players of the game and show you a few highlights right after this. As we go to the break, I'll invite you one more time to our church family at First Melissa, Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. or 10:15 a.m. Your family's invited to join my family for Sunday morning services. Go to firstmelissa.com to find out more. We'll take a break and let you meet our players of the game, and then we'll come back and talk more with Coach Matt Nally right after this. Welcome back to the Melissa Cardinals Network. This is Trey Graham, and you're getting to meet our offensive and defensive players of the game. In just a moment, you'll get to meet Rocky Dunn, the defensive player of the game. But first, we'll introduce you to Brett Poole, senior wide receiver. He is our offensive player of the game, 3 catches, and 2 of them went for scores. And I think you know better than I do, a couple more could have gone for scores.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations on being the offensive player of the game.
Thank you.
And you weren't wearing those glow-in-the-dark gloves this time.
Yeah,
What's the deal with the gloves?
I just wear them with our white jerseys, really. I wear them every time we go white. Like, I'll wear yellow. It's just like the cardinal beak. I just like the way it looks.
Oh, you know what I think they look like?
What?
Penalty flags.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Okay. Well, congratulations. 2 big touchdowns. What was the game plan going in? Before I even ask you that one, I do need to say, against your former team, the Anna Coyotes, what was the game plan?
We knew they ran a lot of cover 1 man, and sometimes they'd go cover 2 man. But it was just get open, run your routes, and try to pound the ball down the throat, really.
And you played on the team last year, played in the state championship game with those guys, so I'm sure during the week there was some talk back and forth.
Yeah, it was a little bit. It wasn't too much. We were just, before the game, I had a call with some of the former teammates over there. We were just talking a little crap, but it was all friendly.
What about during the game?
No, I don't say much during the game. I'm just quiet. I like to let my play do the talking, really. I don't really say much.
Well, you did come out and score 2 big touchdowns against them.
Yes, sir.
Why number 0?
That was only single digit left, but I don't know. I'm just trying to find a meaning behind it, but I just like the number.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What makes a good wide receiver?
I feel like just having good feet and being quarterback friendly, and just when your number's called, make a play.
What's it like playing with your twin brother?
It's fun. It's like when we're on the field together, it's like I could talk to him without talking to him. Like I could look at him through like 20 yards away from him and be like, yeah, I know what you're doing. Like it's just like a really good connection and feeling to have. It's just because we played so long together.
Who's taller?
He is.
Who's faster?
I am.
Will he agree with that?
No, probably not. No,
Okay.
Nobody will either, but I will.
Okay. And who makes better grades?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My grades are pretty solid.
All right. What's your favorite class in school?
I say math. It's just because I apply myself more to that, so I'm better at it.
Okay. And what do you want to do after Melissa High School?
I would like to go coach somewhere, own my own business, or play football in the NFL if that happens.
Well, very good.
Yes, sir.
And what's it been like being the new guy here in Melissa?
Very friendly. I like everybody here. Everybody's really welcoming. I bonded with my teammates really fast. It just feels like home. It feels like I'm back at Joshua again, you know?
Good. Well,
Yes, sir.
congratulations on being our offensive player of the game.
Yes, sir.
Senior wide receiver number 0, Brett Poole. We'll show you a few of his highlights, and then we'll let you meet Rocky Dunn right after this. 2 receivers left, 1 right, wing left. Shotgun comes, Schuback looks left, has time, throws a 7 route. It's going to be caught wide open at the 50, 40, track meet, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Cardinals, 71 yards. Schuback to his favorite receiver, the second favorite, Brett Poole, along with Jacob Nye. Touchdown Cardinals, touchdown Brett Poole, who, guess what, Robert? He won a state championship with the Anna Coyotes a year ago, and he comes out and scores the first Melissa touchdown tonight. Big crowd of Cardinal fans here on the home side, of course, and a big crowd of purple people on the other side. Here's a 2nd and long, slant route, wide open, caught, first down at the 20, at the 10, inside the 5, touchdown Cardinals. Touchdown, Brett Poole. First he goes 71 yards, now he goes 55-yard touchdown, Cardinals. Brett Poole to his former team, the Coyotes, has 2 touchdown receptions in this first quarter.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, it's early in the game, but we may have an offensive player emerging. That occasional downfield pass to keep them honest so we can run the ball is huge. And when he catches those, not to mention going to the house.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Scoreboard Show. You got to meet our offensive player of the game, Brett Poole, just a moment ago. Now you get to meet our defensive player of the game, junior number 7, safety Rocky Dunn. And you said that you've been here before. So congratulations again for being our defensive player of the game.
Yes, sir.
Now the question is, Rocky, is that the real name or is there some other name?
Rockwell is my
Rockwell.
real name.
Okay,
Yes,
and you don't want to do that one? You're gonna...
Most people call me Rocky. I don't know why.
Okay.
Since I was young, people have been calling me Rocky.
Okay, but on the broadcast, you might just now become Rockwell.
That's fine with me.
Okay, all right. Well, congratulations. You had 11 tackles and 3 passes broken up. A great game against the Anna Coyotes. First question for you. Did it feel big? Did it feel like a real rivalry game?
Going into it, we didn't really call it a rivalry just because we had, like, most of the people on our team haven't even played them before. But obviously we're like 10 minutes apart, and we've had a couple kids that came from Anna. So it was a bit of a rivalry, but I didn't really look at it that way, to be honest.
What was the game plan going in?
Just to contain their quarterback, really. I mean,
you spent a lot of time with him.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of those 11 tackles you made were on him.
Yeah. No, he's a very good player, and I think we did a good job of kind of keeping him contained. So I think we did pretty good at that.
Okay, and Coach Nally, you mentioned earlier you've been part of the varsity for all of your high school years, some in the freshman year, and then, of course, last year as a sophomore. So what's it like being on the older side of things?
It's kind of nice. I've had a lot of experience, and obviously I miss some of the guys that have come through here, and it's kind of a bummer to see all those kids go. But we've got a good team, and it's cool seeing all like the younger kids come up, and like we got Bear Tabor running back as a freshman, so it's kind of funny because I'm a junior now, and I'm like, oh, when I was a freshman, I was on varsity. It's like it didn't seem that long ago.
Right.
So.
Your brother Lincoln Dunn was on the team the last few years, was the fastest Cardinal on the team. So who's faster, you or Lincoln?
I'd have to say Lincoln there. I'm going to be honest.
Okay. All right. Favorite class in school?
Probably health class this year.
Why?
Coach Witt is my teacher.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I know you are talking to schools. What's the recruiting process like?
I don't know. It's a little confusing, but I mean, it's nice having schools reach out and be able to talk to them, and I've been able to go to a couple games this year. So hopefully it'll kind of pick up a little bit more here soon. But yeah, that's about it.
And last question, what have your coaches taught you?
Obviously they teach us how to play football good, but they all like to make an emphasis on how they want us to be better people and better young men than we are football players. So I appreciate that about them a lot.
And would you like to have a chance to have a rebuttal, Coach Nally calling you a nerd?
No.
Are you gonna accept that? Or
I would just accept it. I'm gonna take that.
Okay. Well, congratulations on being the defensive player of the game.
Yes, sir.
Junior safety, number 7, Rocky Dunn. He was our defensive player of the game for the big victory over the Anna Coyotes. We'll take a break and come back more with Coach Nally right after this. Ziondre Williams, he's a very talented running back. Edward Chumley is also a feature for the Coyote offense. They're going to hand the ball off on first down, and they have a nice hole, and they'll pick up 5. They'll pick up 7 on the carry. That was Chumley to both sides, ball on the left hash. Zy Williams throws it out to the left side. It's going to be complete. And a nice tackle by Cardinals. Laying the wood, as coaches like to say. Rocky Dunn from the safety spot. 4 receivers. a late draw play, handoff to Chumley, and a good play call, and a 9-yard gain for the Coyotes offense. Coyotes putting a nice drive together, and they're going to fake a handoff, throw a slant route into traffic, and make the catch, and a big hit by Rocky Dunn.
Yeah, good hit.
But a gain of 8.
And that's what I was talking about a little earlier. They're keeping those receivers in front of them, giving up that underneath route, and then they're just going in to try to separate him from the ball. That was a hard hit. It's a good job by the receiver hanging on.
Very
clean.
Yes.
Very clean.
All out there. Here comes 1st and 10 at the 49. So Andre Williams has an empty backfield, and he's going to run quarterback sweep going left, and that's why he's a talented runner and the leading rusher on the year for the Coyotes, and he picks up 8 yards.
Williams on a keeper around the left side.
He will have it spotted in Cardinal territory. Twins to both sides. Andre Williams looks left, has time, throws a crossing route at the goal line, incomplete pass.
Yeah, good coverage.
And Rocky Dunn on that coverage. Tough play from the safety spot. Nice job breaking that pass up. Welcome back to the Cardinals Scoreboard Show. This is Trey Graham with Cardinals head football coach Matt Nally. You got to meet our offensive and defensive players of the game for the big victory over the Anna Coyotes by a score of 21-18. And all that allows you to do when you get the win over the Anna Coyotes is continue this murderer's row that you're on, as they say. You're going to play Lovejoy, Frisco Emerson, and Prosper Walnut Grove,
Right.
A bunch of great teams in a
Right.
row.
Right.
And we'll talk about Lovejoy in a minute, but we're here on the sideline as we take the Cardinal Scoreboard Show on the road every week. And so most people come to the games and they sit right here, okay? They don't know what it's like right here.
Right.
So
right.
talk about pregame, talk about during game. What's the life like? What's the feeling like here on the sideline?
Well, I'll say this. I'll go to during the game real quick. During the game is probably Kennedy Stadium is probably the most calm, just because of the fact of you are so far away from the fans that it's you don't get.
Now there could be a track here. It could be a lot
Correct.
further.
Correct. But you're so far away in the you don't really like get to experience the Friday night experience here as a coach. Now, when things are going, it's a close game. Oh, it's beautiful. You know, just because of the fact you can concentrate, you don't have anything else, any other stimulations going on. You know, you can just focus on the game. And now, when it's a blowout game, it's kind of gets boring. You know, just because of the fact of you don't get to experience it all. Whereas when we go to other places, you get to experience the whole atmosphere. Pre-game is. It's an opportunity to, I like to sit out there and I like to watch, because there's people don't understand. Like, we come out at 5:15, and the people already be in the stands. You know what I mean? They'll be watching. They're already here, which to me is amazing and just speaks just volumes about the fan and the fan base that we have here in Melissa. But pregame is my favorite, just because of the fact of you get to see the kids come out, and we do certain different things, but we give kids an opportunity for about 10 or 15 minutes to kind of be themselves and, listen to music, have headphones on and just kind of be themselves. And to me, that's my favorite time, just because of the fact of you get to see kind of their personalities when they're doing stuff, and like, I think Jake Brown thinks he's a quarterback, so, or a receiver, one or the other. But like, he's running around throwing passes, and they're running routes and whatnot. And I enjoy that the most, just because the fact of it goes back to the purest piece of the game, and that's the love of the game. And you get to see those kids enjoy being a kid and enjoy playing football. And then, we come together and we do a little individual and a little group stuff and whatnot. And then we go back. And then when we come back for our real pregame, it's electric. Is the only way I can really put it. because you get to be around the kiddos, and when they're in their uniform, it's a special time. Then you get to hear people talking. I love it when they come out of the tunnel because there's people there, but just the roar of the crowd. There's something about it that is, I don't know. It's when I was younger, I didn't really appreciate those pieces of the game, but now that I'm an older man, I feel like those are the special pieces now that kids will remember. So and I will remember. So like Friday night we came out early. From for the music, but man, just golly, the fans just before the kids came out, and when the kids came out, it was just this explosion, and it was such a cool experience that I'll never forget. So, but it's a different atmosphere here than anywhere else. So to me, it is. I'd rather play here than anywhere else because of the calming effect on the sideline. And when I say calming effect, it has nothing to do with the fans. It is the depth from here to here. You have so much room to do things, whereas you go to other places, you don't have this much room. You're closer together. So there's all these pieces moving at the same time, and people are talking, and it's loud, and you're distracted about what certain things are going on. So, but this is just from the depth perception from here, it is just there's nothing like it.
And talk about, do you believe in home field advantage?
100%. Like when I say that, like I haven't been to a game yet that when they haven't walked out, that coaches and kids haven't pulled out their cell phones and start taking pictures and videos and stuff like this. And I hope that our kids understand how blessed they are and how much of a great opportunity they have to play here. And what we do is we practice here on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we flip the field. So like Wednesday, my offense will be down there, and my defense, or Wednesday, my offense is here, my defense is here. Then the next day we flip it. And I think that gives an opportunity for quarterbacks to throw in both end zones and both sides of the field, and kids catch and all those things. But I think just the allure of it and the aura off of it. And then, I mean, I know this is something that I was told that the Anna coaches didn't enjoy, but that run, when we run out like that, I think that's something too, that is something that is a home field advantage piece that gives us kind of, I don't know about an edge, but it gets the kids going.
Sure.
So,
well, we do need to turn our attention to this Friday night, 7:30, down in Lucas, Texas, on the road to take on the Lovejoy Leopards, led by their Hall of Fame head coach, Todd Dodge. And we mentioned that the all-time record now between Melissa and Anna is 12-1 in Melissa's favor.
Yes, sir.
The all-time series record between Lovejoy, do you know?
I'm going to say 1-1.
2-2.
2-2. Okay,
2-2.
cool.
That is correct.
Cool.
So you've played them in the playoffs in the past. You've played them in district games, and the hype, the rivalry, the getting ready for a great team, everything that you could say about the Anna game, it applies again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The thing about the Anna game was they have an unbelievable team and an unbelievable coaching staff. And then you have Lovejoy, who has an unbelievable team, an unbelievable coaching staff, and then probably the one of top 3 greatest high school football coaches in the state of Texas ever. So, that hype piece of it, I can see it being a big deal. The very little this week that I've talked to Coach Dodge, which I talked to Coach Dodge probably more in other weeks than I have this week, which is rightfully so. But, the one thing that I really truly admire about him is he's doing it for the right reason, and that's for kids coming back and out of retirement and whatnot. But the next thing is he is such a great piece for younger coaches. Like, he has done so much for me in the past. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but last year he came and spoke to our team in the before we started fall camp, and it was one of the greatest, motivational speeches. And he wasn't a hoop holler, guy, but just the words that he used. But he's a great offensive mind. And
He was a great player too.
yeah, heck yeah. And I'm probably closer with his son than I am with Coach Dodge. But
Riley Dodge, who played for Dad,
yeah,
is now the head coach and just named the athletic director.
Correct.
At South Lake Carroll.
And just that relationship piece. But me and Coach Dodge have talked more about. We talked football. Out of all the conversations that we've had, we talked football for maybe like 5 minutes, and everything else is about golf. So, and I'm not a good golfer by any stretch of the means, but he likes to golf. So, but just for me, getting to play an unbelievable team like that, and then getting to play an unbelievable coaching staff like that, and you get to play Todd Dodge. To me, once again, it's so early in the season, but it's so we're getting in our teenage years when it comes to district play. To play a team like that and to play them this early it's only going to make us better. It has nothing to do with anything how the ending result is. It has nothing to do. And this is what I said to somebody the other day. I said, in our district, whoever's first and whoever's fourth is ready to play. It doesn't matter. They're ready to play that when we get into the playoffs. Whereas you're going to have some teams that are going to win a district, and they're not going to be ready to play because of the district that they're in. 1 through 4 will be ready to play. They'll be battle tested. They'll be calloused. They'll be ready to go. And I firmly believe that our district, there's going to be teams that are going to meet back up just because of the fact of what has been going on in September and October when it comes to district football.
You've been watching this week's edition of the Cardinals Scoreboard Show. We do thank our good friends at the Dugout Sports Grill for being the sponsor of this episode. Congratulations again to Brett Poole and Rocky Dunn for being our players of the game. And please come and see us at First Melissa on Sunday mornings. Visit the website, firstmelissa.com. You can be by the channel on Friday night, 7 o'clock pregame shows, 7:30 kickoff. Your Melissa Cardinals on the road at the Lovejoy Leopards, a big district game, 2 very talented teams, and we look forward to bringing you that this Friday. Thanks for your time tonight. Coach Nally, thank you. This is Trey Graham saying good night from the home sideline.